Thank you to American Airlines for getting me home early this morning from Dover so that I could tape this interview with Denny Hamlin. It is the day after Denny Hamlin is the first driver this season to reach 4 wins. And what a day it was in Dover, surviving the rain, surviving the delays, and of course, surviving those final restarts to get it done. DH, good morning. Like I just said, I feel like I just saw you, and I did on the TNT post race desk. Were the kids up waiting for you when you got home?
They were, and they had fresh cookies and everything waiting, so I was
Oh.
very appreciative.
My, how things have changed as we've gotten older, right? We have
Yes.
cookies post race after a win now instead of other things.
Yeah.
I love it. Talk to me about the battles with your teammates at the end of that race. How much do you have to remind yourself that this is the 19, this is the 20. These are guys I have to sit down with on Monday.
Yeah, it's one of the toughest things, like I talked about, just, because you got to go see that person, today, the next day. And so you're just trying to do the team right by at least having one of the cars win. But there's been instances in past history where teammates have knocked each other out and somebody else has won. So it was touch and go there for a while. Certainly, there was some contact between both my teammates and myself, but in the end, we at least got a good 1-2 out of it.
I know. I love watching, especially you. I love watching you at the end of some of those races because I know there's so many things going on inside the car that I would never understand, right? Whether it's side drafting or this or that, I'm sure there's a lot of games that you guys are able to play. Do you kind of minimize those when it is your teammate?
Yeah, I mean, certainly especially restarts, and you're going into green white checkers. There's just so many variables that go into it. Like, how do you get your launch? How do you get into turn one? Who works the side draft? There's just so many elements, and when you're going against teammates, a lot of it is you're going against guys that you've shared information with on what to do. And so it's like, all
Yeah.
right, well, this is one where I wish I wouldn't have said this or wish I wouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
And they know what I'm thinking in that moment. But both, of the three restarts that we had to endure, really the two with the teammates were the toughest. Those were the two that they kind of predicted what I was doing and was able to stay side by side with me for the whole lot.
Yeah, I loved and on that note, Joe Gibbs said after the race, talking about you, obviously, his leadership means so much to us. Tomorrow we have a meeting at 2. We have our competition meeting. He's in there. The rest of the guys are young. He's leading the way in so many different ways. Describe to me Denny Hamlin, the veteran leader inside that room. How do you lead?
Well, I just, you try to lead by example first, right? And that's, putting in the work. I don't think anyone at Joe Gibbs Racing or myself ask anyone in that room to do anything that we wouldn't do ourselves or are doing. And so, just, I actually ask the guys a lot of questions. I try to prompt them to get their brains going on, if I hear them giving some feedback that I think that, you know, maybe is touch and go, I'll ask another follow up question. Even though I'm not the competition director or anything, I'll try
Mhm.
to get them thinking about something, and then perhaps stir some sort of interest and secondary thought that might help them give good feedback to their team.
I know that I feel like mentors over the years, like when I was first getting into this industry, right? I did feel like there was a sense of sort of like, hey, there's only room for a couple of us, and I don't feel like the mentorship and sort of the helping people grow was as much as it is today. Did you feel that way? And do kids today or young guys today are they open to taking the leadership, or are they kind of like, I got it, I know what I'm doing?
It's interesting at our group. I feel like they're all pretty humble in that sense, willing to listen. Christopher Bell, I think, is one of the most receptive to information and asking a lot of questions. So I mean, that's what makes him so good, is that he's not, in my mind, I consider him one of the top 3 or 4 drivers in our series.
Hmm.
But yet he's still asking questions from one of his teammates on how he can get better. So I think that's where you're really going to have some special talent coming down the line, when you got someone that's talented and that's willing to work that hard.
I love it. All right, enough about your teammates. Let's talk about you, Denny. You're the first driver to hit 4 wins this season. It's the first time that you've done that since 2020. What does that mean to you? Like, how does that put you sort of over the crest into another realm? I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's we got past this tough part of the schedule for us. I mean, certainly the road courses and whatnot, we're not really giant contenders there. As long as SVG's in the field, that everyone's racing
Pretty
for
good.
second, it seems. But we just wanted to be like get through that part of the schedule and now get back to tracks where I feel like I can control our destiny a little bit better with my particular skill set. So I'm happy with it. I mean, I think I was like 100 points back or 120, something like that, after Mexico and after missing that race, and we've closed the gap. And some of that has been Byron's misfortune,
Mhm.
but overall, I feel like we're right where we need to be, and certainly feel as though we could get another win or two before this playoff starts.
I know that you want to win this weekend very, very badly. What's the biggest heartbreak that you've had at Indianapolis?
I mean, there was two really close calls, but to me, 2020 was by far the hardest because I was in control of the race. I'm leading. The race is going green all the way out. It's 6 laps to go. It was the year me and Kevin Harvick dominated the
Yep,
entire year. I think we won half the races. Um,
you
I'm
did.
running one. He's
Mhm.
running two, and I blow a tire with 6 laps to go, and that was just a really, really, really tough one to swallow because we did everything up until that point to execute and win that race, and that was going to be one I was going to check off the list. So it's part of your resume when they call out you're this and you're that, you're the Southern 500, you're the Daytona 500. They're also going to say Brickyard, and so you want them to add to that resume that people say when they talk about your name after you're done racing. And so that one hurt for sure. Last year, where I thought we were in great position again, leading the race late, had to come in, stop for fuel, and that ended up getting wrecked from there. So, um, 2020 hurts by far the most.
So, do you think you'll be like how do you anticipate Denny will be this weekend? Do you think you'll be tighter, more sort of focused, looser? Like, how do you anticipate you to be this weekend?
Um, I'm not really sure.
Because it
I
means a
mean, I
lot, right? This is
it
one that you
does.
want.
It does, but I try not to treat them any differently. Yes, I'll spend a little bit more time at looking over things for this weekend. I will certainly be very motivated inside the car. A little bit of motivation can go a long way. um, but I won't change a whole lot of my normal process week to week. I just think that given week to week, we're going to be in contention to win at some point anyway, as long as nothing crazy happens. So I feel like we're just going to keep giving it another try and see if we can't win it this time.
All right. My final question for you. Marty Snyder brought up the 58 wins post race, and you were a little vague about it. I think he asked you if you had more goals after that, and you said we have. I think you said we have a lot more. If I guess a goal, will you tell me if I'm right or wrong? Okay. So I think that a number that you're looking towards is 8 more wins. And here's why. So if you have 8 more wins, you will be ahead of Kyle Busch for ninth on the list. And you will be second on the list of drivers who have 700 starts or more. Am I right?
Mm.
Have you looked at that list?
I have looked at the list. I have to plan on, at least like a Kyle Larson overtaking us in wins one day. Um, if Joey can get hot consistently, he could possibly get there. Just he's got such a longer runway. I think I saw today he's got 600 starts. He's 6 years younger than
Yeah,
me
I know.
when I had my 600. So he's gonna have a lot more starts to get there. Um, so I have to plan on at least somebody coming down the line is going to overtake us at some point. So to stay in the top 10, you need to get well inside the top 10. So I think that number is probably pretty accurate. Um, and out, I mean, I'd be 10 behind Dale. I'd take that tomorrow.
Yeah, I think I didn't realize the 700 starts. There's only 22 drivers who have made at least 700 starts. And of course, the guys who have won after those 700 starts, it's a pretty small list that your
Yeah.
name is on. So congratulations. I'll let you go. I know you've got a busy day, podcast and meetings and all that stuff. So always appreciate your time, Denny, and we'll see you in Indy.
Thanks. See
Okay.
you, Shane.
Bye. I know a good argument could be made for Denny Hamlin having the best day ever, but I truly think that Dillon takes that award this weekend. And here is why. Of course, we all know why. He's racing for $1 million. 32 seed in the in season challenge. He was able to best Denny Hamlin at Atlanta with, by the way, his only top 10 this season. And now he's racing Ty Gibbs for $1 million this weekend in Indianapolis. He joined us on the TNT post race desk and he had this to say about this moment.
But I spent 2 years not in the Cup Series recently, and you get a whole different perspective and gratitude for what it is to actually drive these race cars on Sunday and just have fans that cheer your name. And to be a part of this run of fun for me, it means a lot, and I don't want it to end. So that's another little motivating factor. And $1 million will go a long way. I got 3 babies at home, so we got some stuff going on and futures to plan. So man, it's a blast. I just appreciate that NASCAR and TNT went out and did this, because for a team like us at this point in the season, we're not exactly where we want to be yet, but we're trending in a good direction. Our story doesn't get told in years past. You know, it's mainly the guys trying to fight for the points positions. It's the guys running up front trying to win the race. But our story and growth of our year stops getting told. So I'm grateful that we've been able to show our personality as a team, myself as well in this whole run. And man, let's just keep it rolling one more week. And Indy's a place that I've kissed the bricks before, so I got a little bit of confidence there. So we can get it done.
How likable is Ty Dillon? My goodness. I feel like he's a lot of us. And I love what he said is our story wouldn't be told in years past. Yes, that's right. He mentioned running a partial schedule. He did that in 2024 and 2021. He has 266 starts in the Cup Series, and he is winless. And like I mentioned, just one top 10 this season, and that was at Atlanta when he was able to get past Denny Hamlin. Obviously, a lot of stuff happened in order for that to happen, but now he's just got one more race and then he'll be winning $1 million. So I think all of us, it's very hard not to root against a Cinderella story, and Ty Dillon is absolutely that Cinderella story when it comes to the in-season challenge on TNT. We'll see this weekend at Indy. I can't wait to get their crown jewel. Denny Hamlin, looking forward to maybe checking that one off on his resume, as are a lot of guys heading to Indy this weekend to kiss the bricks. So we'll see you there, and we'll see you next week.